Death. It's the one thing we all have in common, yet it's also the one thing most of us would rather not think about. We avoid it, fear it, and sometimes even pretend it doesn't exist. But what if facing death head-on is the secret to living a fuller life? Think about it. If you could live forever, if there were no end, what would life mean? Would you value the moments you have now? Or would you take them for granted, knowing there's always more time? The truth is, it's the limits. The fact that everything ends. That makes life so meaningful. Imagine a flower. It blooms for a short while, then withers away. It's beautiful precisely because it doesn't last forever. If flowers never faded, would we stop noticing them? It's the same with life. Death isn't a thief that takes life away. It's the reason life feels so precious. But fear, that's another story. The fear of death is often rooted in the fear of the unknown. We don't know what happens next, and that uncertainty can be terrifying. Our instinct is to fight it, to cling to what we know and what feels safe. But when you think about it, life is full of unknowns. We step into uncertainty every day, often without realizing it. Think back to before you were born. What was that like? You probably can't imagine it, and yet you arrived here, alive and experiencing all that life has to offer. Maybe death is something similar. Not an end, but a transition. A return to something we can't yet understand. What if, instead of fearing death, we let it guide us? What if we used it as a reminder to be fully present in the moments we have? When we stop running from the idea of death, we can start to see life for what it is. A series of fleeting, beautiful moments. When you look at nature, you'll notice that nothing clings to life the way we do. Trees lose their leaves, animals live their cycles, rivers flow into the sea. Everything in nature understands the balance of life and death. It's all part of a larger rhythm. Maybe we can learn something from that. Living fully doesn't mean ignoring death. It means embracing it as part of the journey. Letting go of the fear of endings can actually make life feel richer. Because when you stop focusing on what you might lose, you start noticing everything you already have. So here's a question. What would you do differently if you weren't afraid of death? Would you spend more time with the people you love? Take more chances? Appreciate the little things, like the way the sun feels on your skin or how laughter sounds? The truth is, life is happening right now. It's not in the past, and it's not in some far-off future. It's in this moment, and this moment only. When you let go of the fear of losing it, you can start to truly live it. Death doesn't have to be the thing that holds us back. It can be the thing that sets us free. The reason we love more, laugh harder, and take nothing for granted. Because the moments we have are limited, and that's what makes them extraordinary. So live your life fully, knowing that it won't last forever. Not because you're running out of time, but because every moment is worth embracing. And when the time comes to say goodbye, you'll know you lived not in fear of death, but in celebration of life.